तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयां चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। श्रीमते महापुरुषान्तनामिनो विष्णुपृष्ठभूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि चारणेन Krishna Mataji's. So yesterday we saw those tips and tricks on the favorable tips for the deep study methodology. There are other things to be covered as well, but Anandaram Prabhu, I don't know if he's there. He was requesting if we can do a demo of the current chapter under your regular study, that is the 4th canto 15th chapter, 19th chapter, sorry, 4th canto 19th chapter. If we can try to read that and apply the methodologies, the the ways. So I just thought we can do that as a group activity. Meantime, refer to the points in case if there is something that comes up. So request devotees to participate in this actively. Any questions or the question on the content also, and the question on how to understand certain things, etc. That also we will discuss. It's a learning process for me also, so don't worry. Don't think that I know everything. Just we can all do this activity as a group study. So let's take the chapter 4.15. Maybe what I can do is, I like to read from the book. So if one of the co-hosts are there, if you are on your system, and if you'd like to share in the database, you can probably share it, yeah, thank you. So this particular chapter is a very, very, very intriguing and very thought-provoking chapter. So there are various ways to study, as we had discussed the various methods, like the shlokas, then only the translations, verse translation, and then the purport, and with the word for word equivalent also, So we may not be able to do the entire chapter because of the the limited time that we have. What we can do is, we can take we can probably read through the translations, okay, and some specific group of verses will be there, especially when Brahma starts to speak. At that point, we will get into the get into the verses. The reason we are reading through the translations, we want to do that is because we will get the flow of the story, the past, the entire story, what happened, why these things are there. So while we are reading the translations, also devotees can stop and ask questions, or share your realizations. We will be doing it like a mix of everything here, because we want to have a idea. Ideally speaking, if you want to read the translations, you do all the translations together for the entire chapter, then come back to the thing. That way we can do also. Or another way is to do translation purport like that. If you want to do it also, that way it will go on forever. But we want to focus on a few slokas where it's very important to meditate on, and you will realize that there will be so many different lessons that we can extract, that we can learn from this, and also some things which we'll feel that, oh, I should practice too, like that. So I will let devotees to just continue. Don't spend your time asking, can I read? Just one of you can just go ahead and read. We will start with the text, first text onwards. Now this is the like what do you call this? Our Patu Maharaj has done that earth, leveling the earth, and then all that thing. And when he came, a lot of appreciations are given by the priests and all that. When he came, when he appeared in this world, then now he is doing the 100 horse sacrifices. So now let's start. Someone can start reading the text one.
I can start.
Please.
Text 1. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, King Prithu initiated the performance of 100 horse sacrifices at the spot where the river Saraswati flows towards the east. This piece of land is known as Brahmavarta, and it was controlled by Swayambhu Manu.
Okay. So this is the beginning of the thing, where the story, where Maharaj Prithu is initiating the performance of 100 horse sacrifices. Let's go to the next one. We will keep going in a flow. Who else want to read now?
Text 2. When the most powerful Indra, the king of heaven, saw this, he considered the fact that King Prithu was going to exceed him in fruitive activities. Thus, Indra could not tolerate the great sacrificial ceremonies performed by King Prithu.
So this is very interesting. Now this is where we can see Prabhupada has written a wonderful purport for this too. We can Prabhu, yeah, if you can do it in advanced view mode, Prabhu. If you change it to advanced view, then you just switch on only the translations. Later, whenever we want, we can switch on the purport. So now, few things. This is where the lesson starts to flow. Then the most powerful Indra, the king of heaven, saw this, and the fact that he was going to exceed him in fruitive activities. Now, it's very interesting. Maharaj Prithu is a pure devotee and also incarnation of God, the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. That is one side. And on the other hand, he is also glorified by everybody, this world. And then Indra also comes. When he appears, he comes and gives him a gift. Okay. And the next thing is, when Maharaj Prithu is milking the planet Earth, he comes and extracts the Amrita from the Mother Earth in the form of the cow. In the form of cow, he comes and he extracts the thing that they want, the somaras, whatever. And the Amrita, yeah. So one side is getting all the benefits from Maharaj Prithu's expert and immaculate devotion-based administration, bhakti-based administration. But on the other hand, why would he be envious? He is envious of Prithu Maharaj. That's a question that you should ask. I told you, remember, when we do the favorable study, it's very important to ask the questions why, when, how, what, etc. Right? So you may not get the answer right away, but the question should come. Adhyatma Brahma Jignasa, right? Yes, somebody was about to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I don't know, but is it because somewhere Indra feared that Maharaj's prosperity will increase to his prosperity?
Yes. Basically, it is the disease of those who occupy some seat. It is a disease that which normally those who occupy the seats, they end up having this fear. So he occupies a seat which is going to be temporary. If you are occupying a permanent seat, you will not feel insecure, correct? If you are occupying a temporary seat, that is when you will feel insecure. Yes or no?
True, Prabhuji.
Right? So this gives a very interesting parallel. In this world, everybody who is bodily conscious, they are always afraid that their position will go, or they lament that they did not get a position. Right? Those who are on the Atma consciousness, they don't have anything to gain from this world or lose in this world. So they neither lament nor rejoice when it is there, nor fear whether it will go away. And that is what Prabhupada says here. If you see the purport, Prabhu, you can open the purport. Prabhupada says nicely, in the material world, everyone who comes to enjoy himself or lord it over material nature is envious of others. This envy is also found in the personality of the king of heaven, Indra. As evident from the revealed scriptures, Indra was several times envious of many persons. He was especially envious of great fruitive activities and the execution of yoga practices or siddhis. Indeed, he could not tolerate them, and he desired to break them up. He was envious due to fear that those who performed great sacrifices for the execution of mystic yoga might occupy his seat. Since no one in this material world can tolerate another's advancement, everyone in the material world is called Matsara, envious. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is therefore said that Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for those who are completely nirmatsara, non-envious. In other words, one who is not free from the contamination of envy cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, however, if someone excels another person, the devotee who is excelled thinks how fortunate the other person is to be advancing in devotional service. Such non-envy is typical of Vaikuntha. However, when one is envious of his competitor, that is material. The demigods posted in the material world are not exempt from envy. Such an amazing purport, you see. So first part, Prabhupada says, why in this world people are envious of each other? And then he compares it to the Krishna conscious persons, how they are, instead of being envious of the others who are advancing, they are actually very happy for them. How fortunate the other person is to be advancing in devotional service. So we have to go from black to white. That is the expectation. And that is one of the primary purpose of this chapter. Because one point here is that, if you see, Indra, obviously we know he is envious, right? after this chapter is over, in the next chapter, when Lord Vishnu appears and he again speaks. Now in this chapter, after this Indra's disturbance, Brahma will come and speak. In the next chapter, I think Lord Vishnu will start to speak. And when he starts to speak, there'll be a very interesting section where Maharaj Prithu himself will be mentioned as someone who is as someone who is envious. It's a shocking thing, you know. It's a shocking thing. How can Maharaj Prithu be envious? So that is where even this, you know, he is even if he is trying to counteract or protect or retaliate this or stop this person from disturbing us, there also a slight tinge of envy will be there. The saintly personalities, they would want us to be completely free of all traces of envy. Whatever little tiny bit is also there, that has to be removed. That's what they would want us to be. We can't be kind of relaxed that, okay, it's okay, 5-10% envy, if it is there, it's fine. Everybody has. What's the big problem if I don't have? What's the problem if I have? You know? So we should never become relaxed in our mentalities, you know. So that is very, very important point to note. Just something very interesting today in the mind control. Prabhu, if you can open another window and just have this this particular verse I'm telling you, 9942. This can be there. You come back here. This is how we will reference to the other sections, no? In Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gita, wherever. Is it possible, Prabhu? I don't know if you are there. Just take another window. Let this window be there. In the same browser, you can open another window. Yes. 9942. In the purport, if you see, Prabhupada writes a very interesting few lines. When one's mind is attached to Krishna, Maya Sakta Manaha. 9942, correct, 22, yes. Yes, Prabhu, towards the last few lines. Yeah. Thank you, Narayana Mataji. Can take me see that. When one's mind is attached to Krishna, Mai Asakta Manaha, one can fulfill the mission of life in one human birth. See, in one human birth itself, we can fulfill our mission of life. If one misses this opportunity, this is very strong words, huh? One does not know where he is going, how long he will remain in the cycle of birth and death, and when he will again achieve the human form of life and the chance to return home back to Godhead. None of these things are certain. So it's like, we don't have, just like, you know, say, suppose you want to travel from Delhi to Mumbai, some 7-8 trains will be there in a day. So you will think that, okay, one train I miss, another train I will get seat, or another train I can go, or the worst case I can go by flight. Also, so many different options you will have. But here, once we miss this chance, then there is no certainty that we'll go back home, back to Godhead. When we will go, we don't know also. Where he is going, how long he will remain in the cycle of birth and death, when he will again achieve the human form of life. Everything is uncertain. That's why Prabhupada finally says the most intelligent person therefore uses every moment of his life to render loving service to the Lord. Loving service to the Lord actually means that which pleases the Lord. If I am doing something with attachment, some service to Krishna with attachment to the Lord, that Lord, my Lord, please be pleased by this humble, insignificant offering. And if the Lord is pleased, that is the real success. So that is where these words are very, very beautifully connected. So what Brahma and Vishnu will be effectively saying is that you have to teach, as a king, you have to teach the whole world, all the general mass, that how rare this human form of life is and how effectively we should utilize it. So this, if we are missing, then there is every chance of us becoming envious or being how should I say, affected by that envy, impacted by the other person's envy. Yeah, so let's get back to our main verse. Just wanted to refer to this point. Like this, when we are reading, no, these are the things which will come to us. Like we can connect that with these points and the Prabhupada saying. So now this regarding envy, we just got an idea. Prabhupada, how nicely he is bringing that point up. So we are clear that Indra is envious. So that's why he is going to react in the way that is going to be explained here. Somebody want to read the next verse?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Please, Mataji.
Text. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is present in everyone's heart as the Super Soul, and he is the proprietor of all planets and the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. He was personally present at the sacrifices made by King Prithu.
Yeah, so this is very nice because the Lord is pleased. That's why he is coming. The Lord is pleased with the Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj was not boasting of his achievements. He was not commanding people or threatening and none of things. He was really Pakka king, perfect devotee. Everything was perfect about him. That is why everybody was so pleased to have him as their leader. The leader is not someone who simply says, I am the leader, you all come follow me. No. Leader is someone who is accepted by others automatically, that he is the leader. They all want, on their own, they want to follow this that particular personality. So let's move on. I don't want to go into every single purport, then we will not be able to utilize our 1 hour for the thing. So like this, you can keep reading. When you keep reading, the thread will be there. The thread of the flow of the thread will be there, and we'll also get some of the questions answered. Some new points, new thoughts also will come. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Read, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Text 4, translation. When Lord Vishnu appeared in the sacrificial arena, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the chief predominating personalities of every planet, as well as their followers, came with him. When he appeared on the scene, the residents of Gandharva Loka, the great sages, and the residents of Apsara Loka all praised him.
Praised him means Krishna. Lord Vishnu is coming.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is another reason for envy. This is one other reason for envy. What is the other reason that comes out of this? Can somebody share your thoughts?
So many, dignitaries are attending someone function. So
Yeah.
Indra will be jealous that he is getting so much powerful people association.
Yeah, true. It's very interesting. This is something which we all go through also. That we have accepted someone as our master, leader, whatever, and we are controlled by them. And but at the same time, we, if you are not really in good terms with another person, and if that other person is also nicely dealt with by the same leader, it's very difficult to tolerate. So that's why it's always better to have a amicable relationship with everyone around, so that we won't nurture that envy. See, and frankly speaking, envy comes because of the separatist mentality, that you are separate from me and I am separate from you. Pritagdya, Pritagdrisha, they say. That word is used many times in Bhagavatam. Pritag means you are seeing that person as separate from us, and also you are seeing that person as separate from Krishna. We don't see Krishna in that person. That's the primary reason why we are envious of someone. When we see Krishna in that person, when we are actually worshipping Krishna, and when we see the other person being accepted by Krishna, then we will not be envious of that person, right? So here, that's the challenge, that it actually triggers the envy even more for Indra. One of the reasons, what will be the other reason why Indra is envious of Maharaj?
Prabhuji, may I come in?
Yes, please.
One thing is, not only this particular case, Indras have always been envious of many people.
Right.
They are scared of losing their position.
Mm-hmm.
And here again, because Prithvi Maharaj would have completed the 100th sacrifice, that he would have come back truly at par with the Indra. I think Indra did not realize that Prithvi Maharaj in fact is a avatar of Vishnu.
Sorry, the last line, what did you say, Prabhu? Last line, what did you say?
That Prithvi Maharaj is the Sakti avatar of Vishnu. Right? This thing, I did not know it. So this is why I'm challenging this human being should not come at par with me.
Human being should not come
at par with him.
That's beautiful point. I was expecting somewhat around, very close to what you are saying. Actually speaking, Indra was, even though he knew that Maharaj Prithu is an incarnation of the Lord, still someone in this material world, because he is the controller of the Swargaloka and this the Bhuloka also, he has this mentality that everybody who are in the material, the earth planet, they are under my control. So they are inferior to me. So how can an inferior person become more glorified than me? You see that point? That's the reason he was not able to accept someone like Prithu Maharaj. How can he do 100 sacrifices and he will become more glorified than me? Because Lord Brahma is acknowledging, Vishnu is acknowledging, Shiva is acknowledging, everybody is acknowledging. All the Devatas are also acknowledging. Then I will be left alone. I will not have anyone to support me. So these are the, and he's also proud of his position. That is another reason.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, what will be the ultimate reason for these kind of insecurities? Even though he was Indra and situated in heavenly planet, blessed by God for all luxury, still he was. So he is not believing the power of Krishna.
No, it's not that they don't believe in the power of Krishna, because later you will see he comes to ask for forgiveness along with Lord Vishnu only. It is just that for some time they will be taken over by this quality of envy. they forget Krishna for some time, just for a small time period. And then
Yeah,
they will
because
become
every
envious.
time like Indra forget like that Govardhan hill and every time.
Yeah. Every time Krishna comes to correct him, to punish him, but he doesn't take him out of the position.
So what message we should take from this? Like every time we, even if we forget or even we fall down, if we Krishna will come and lift us up.
One important point that Prabhupada also says, and I heard this from my spiritual master, Maharaj, and also Prabhu, that the reason, in spite of all the mistakes, Krishna forgives. Few times he doesn't forgive. That's true. That's another side. He removes him from the post a couple of times. That apart from that, pretty much most of the time he corrects him and keeps him back, gives him back the position. The reason is that the demigods are actually, in principle and by default, they are obedient to Krishna and his devotees. You will see whenever they have some problem with the demons, Narad Muni or someone comes and then they listen to them and they return. They don't go forward. They hear Brahma's instructions and they follow that. They hear Lord's instructions, they follow that. So every time they are in trouble because of their these qualities only. But then when they get into trouble, they are obedient to Krishna. They never say, I will not follow you. See, and that's one of the primary reasons why the Lord supports them. And they are occasionally they will become puffed up like this Govardhana hill thing, for example. But by and large, you will see that they are like, say, for example, that the Samudra Manthan, churning of the milk ocean. There, whatever the Lord says, they followed. They simply just kept going. Whatever the demons were asking, they agreed as the Lord instructed them. Sorry, I saw someone, Vijay Kumari Mataji. Yes, Mataji, you have raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, actually, we see in first chapter of the same canto, fourth canto, Bhagavatam, where Yajna is the incarnation of Supreme Lord.
Yes.
So one incarnation of Lord is getting envy of another incarnation, Prithu Maharaj. So how do we understand that, Prabhuji?
Who Yajna? Who is it?
Yes.
Yajna?
Yajna is yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Yajna, the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, correct?
Yeah, Indra is Yajna, na, Prabhuji?
Yeah, but that will might be a different thing, this thing, different skalpa or whatever. It's not the Lord became the king of the demigods, Indra, correct?
Yeah.
But it need not be the same. What happened in Prithu Maharaj's thing, that might be a different Indra. We have learned this point, no, Mataji, that when there is no suitable candidates to take up that post of Indra, Krishna himself will come and take the post. So that is one such instance. Like even when the Lord came as Vaman Dev, no, he was called as Upendra. He was like the younger brother of Indra. But after Bali Maharaj was sent to the lower planets,
according to you, then according to you, this Indra is not incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
I'm not saying according to me. I'm just saying it need not be. There is no mention that it's the same. The Lord Vishnu who has come as Indra is becoming envious of this Indra.
This may be different.
Yeah, there are many places where, not in Bhagavatam, there are so many places Indra is mentioned, but not all Indras are the same Indras.
Okay.
Different kalpa, different Indras will be there. We are not explicitly told that this Indra is different, that Indra is different, etc. But definitely If Krishna comes as Indra, he will not be envious. That you can be sure about.
Okay.
Why would Krishna be envious? You see.
Okay.
You see, there
Thank
is
you.
in another place where someone else takes the role of Indra's position. Where when Vritrasura is killed by Indra, he due to the Brahmahatya dosh, he had to run around. He couldn't come back to Sargaloka, even though Sargaloka became free of the demons, he couldn't go and rule it because of killing a pure devotee, Vritrasura. So during that time, one other, what is his name, Nahusha.
Yes, Nahusha became Indra for temporarily.
Temporarily he became Indra, right? And then he also committed some mistake, and then he also had to.
He get attracted to the wife of Indra.
Not only that, he also wanted all the Saptarishis to carry him in palanquin.
Okay.
And when they are weak, they are not as strong as the other people. So they are going slowly. He says in Sanskrit, there is this word called sarpa. Sarpa means snake. It also means go fast. Go quickly. So he told them, no, sarpa, you please go, you go fast. Why are you carrying so slowly? Then immediately they curse him to become a snake. So he becomes a snake. So again, Indra position became empty. By that time, the original Indra, the other earlier Indra, he had done enough repentance, waiting in the lake without proper prasad and all that for a long time. So he comes back and takes his own position. So this is how the post itself, if you sit on that chair, you will become envious. Of course, for ordinary people, But when Krishna becomes Indra, such things don't happen. That is why when Vaman Dev, when he sends Bali Maharaj away from Sargaloka and gets it back to this Indra, all the Devatas, so you see, that they all wanted glorified Vaman Dev and told him, you only please be our Indra. We don't want that other Indra. We want you to be our leader. But of course, the Lord denied, but they all expressed their desire. So Indras, so many places they will come, we don't know, they are the same. Safe to assume that those who are expressing this envy, they are maybe some, special personalities who have taken that position, not definitely not the Lord. Okay. Very good question, though, Mataji. This is really nice of you to read in between the lines and connecting with the other chapters where it is mentioned, right?
Thank you,
so,
Prabhuji.
Thank you for that. Okay, so shall we move on? What's the next verse?
May Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Who were always engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of God.
Which one you are reading, Prabhu? Sixth.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You said great devotees who are always engaged. Okay, yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Who were always engaged in service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as well as named Kapila, Narad, Dattaya, and masters of mystic powers, headed by Sanka and the great sacrifice with Lord Vishnu.
All attended the great sacrifice with Lord Vishnu. So everybody is attending. So let's read the next one.
Seventh one?
Anyone? Sorry.
7.
Hare Krishna. Someone can read 7?
Ji, Prabhuji.
Yes,
I can read, Prabhuji. Thank you, Ji. My dear Vidura, in that great sacrifice, the entire land came to be like the milk producing Kamdhenu, and thus, by the performance of Yajna, all daily necessities for life were supplied.
Yeah, so this came to be, the entire land came to be like the milk producing Kamadhenu, and thus by the performance of Yajna, all daily necessities for life were supplied. Yes, so this is very sweet. This also shows the importance of protecting the cows, and that is important. Of course, in the purport, Prabhupada talks about Sankirtana Yajna as the topmost Yajna. We have read that, so we'll get into the next verse, that is verse number 8. Anyone else?
Krishna Prabhuji, may I read?
Please.
The flowing river supplied all kinds of taste, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter, and similar other necessities. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a lot to discuss here also, but I want to get to a section where we will have to dig deeper. So let's go the next one.
Read, Prabhuji? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. King Prithu was presented with various gifts from the general populace and predominating deities of all planets. The ocean and seas were full of valuable jewels and pearls, and the hills were full of chemicals and fertilizers. 4 kinds of edible were produced profusely.
Yeah, this is also fine. So we can see that how Prithu Maharaj was getting all we were presented with so many different gifts. And even the various other devatas of all the different grahas, they also come, and everybody is pleased with him. That's why they are coming and offering the gifts. Okay, the next one.
King Prithu was dependent on Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Adhoksha. Because King Prithu performed so many sacrifices, he was superhumanly enhanced by the mercy of Supreme Lord. King Prithu's opulence, however, could not be tolerated by the King of Heaven, Indra, who tried to impede the progress of his opulence.
See, this is really nice. King Prithu was, it's such a beautiful verse, he was dependent on the Supreme Lord. And because King Prithu performed so many sacrifices, he was superhumanly enhanced by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So when he is doing all these sacrifices, he is not doing it for his own personal pleasure. That's what is ultimately meaning of the sacrifice, isn't it? Yesterday we saw the word Tyaga, if you remember. What was that word that was used by Prabhupada in Tyaga? Anybody remembers?
Truthful to own responsibility.
No. That is tapa.
Oh,
Tyaga. Tyaga means sacrifice, he said. But Prabhupada said something different.
Magnanimity.
Yes, magnanimity. So what does that mean? Magnanimity means you are giving something that you hold very valuable, that you are giving to others, that which you may not get again. Right? That is real sacrifice. And what did Prithu Maharaj give? He gave his energy, time, everything that he had for others' benefit. And that is why he is doing this sacrifice. This sacrifice also, this 100 sacrifice, he was not doing it for his personal glorification or name and fame and all that. He was doing it to make sure that everybody gets, all the general mass gets a benefit. Because you see, when he is doing this yajna, all the public people are also there, general mass also there, and they can see the lords, the demigods, and everybody coming to the arena. How pure he must be, and how glorious are these, fortunate are this general mass also, isn't it? So by doing this genuine sacrifice, doing magnanimously, offering whatever he had for others' benefit, he was enhanced by the mercy of the Lord. The Lord was pleased with him. So because the Lord was pleased with him, so many people are coming and giving him offerings. This is the connection. Last verse is talking about where everybody was giving various gifts and glorifying and all that. all these people who are big personalities, like all the owners of the various planets and demigods and rishis, and everybody is coming and giving him the gifts. Why they are doing it? Because they realize that he is personally blessed by the Lord. Why he is blessed by the Lord? Because he was very generously, magnanimously is sacrificing all that he had for others' benefit. So when we do this, that Vaishnava Janato Tenir Kahiye Je Pid Parai Janere, Paradukhe Upakar Kare Toye Mana Abhimana Na Anere. So these are the qualities of Vaishnavas. They realize others' pain and they go and help, but after helping, they don't take any pride on that. So Prithu Maharaj was doing like that. That is why he was enhanced by the mercy of the Lord. So this enhanced by the mercy of the Lord is a very interesting thing. So let's see what exactly is the word in the word for word and the verse that gives this beautiful meaning. This way we will also understand a little bit of how to connect this, to link the 2 points. So because the king performed so many sacrifices, he was superhumanly enhanced by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Which phrase in the verse can Prabhupada is expanding like this?
Prabhuji, sorry, can you repeat the question?
See, in the translation, it is said, you are superhumanly enhanced by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Which phrase in the verse, which words in the verse, Prabhupada is translating like this? I think somebody said something. Yes. Yes. Pratostu paramodayam. Paramodayam, that is parama udayam. That's the word which Prabhupada is translating like this. Isn't it? Anyone has a different idea? Because in this entire verse, that is the only thing that can be explained like this. Because Parama Udayam means Parama is the Lord. You can say Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, or whatever he gives is also Param. And Udayam is something which is like it keeps expanding, increasing, isn't it? When it is Udayam, when the sun is rising, in the beginning it is not so much, only the light is there. But as it keeps going up and up till the mid noon, when it is on the exact top, center top, at that point it's at the peak of heat, both heat and light. It's exhibiting itself fully, isn't it? The max for that day. After that, it again goes down. That is another point. But then, when you see from the first half, straight from the starting point till this point, till the midpoint, it's gradually increasing in its temperature and its light and everything, isn't it? And that is how this is constantly enhanced by the mercy of the Lord. That is Paramodaya. Krishna is appearing wherever he is seeing. The real mercy of Krishna is wherever we are seeing Krishna, that is the real mercy of Krishna, isn't it? So for Prithu Maharaj, he was able to see Krishna everywhere. When he is seeing somebody coming for help, he is immediately saying, oh, somebody Krishna has sent out to help. That's why he is able to connect with our Sanat Kumara so nicely. That's a nice one of the most important chapters in this entire Bhagavatam. The 22nd chapter, in the 4th canto. So this is how immediately you stop and find out why something is very interesting here. Enhanced by the mercy of the Spirit, superhumanly enhanced. He's been becoming more and more famous. And King Prithu's opulence, it could not be touched by him, because his opulence is his operance is directly given by Krishna. So this is called realized translation, Prabhu's Mataji's. When Prabhupada is bringing out these phrases in the translation, just like yesterday we saw how so many nice, beautiful things are coming in the nice fragrance is coming from the akshara, the word-for-word equivalents. Similarly, in the translation also you will find phrases like this, which you will not be able to exactly connect with it. This is the literal meaning word which is coming here. But then you will see that these are extra little this nectar drops that Prabhupada is giving us in the form of these translations. By the way, we haven't even gone to touch the, I mean to say this, the word purport. Okay, let's go further. Now let's read the next one. We may not be able to go up to Brahma's thing if we have to go slowly. So let's quickly do this one.
Would it be faster if one of us can read the translations continues?
Yeah, maybe would you want to do it, Mataji? Just keep
Sure,
reading.
Prabhuji. Ji Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna. When Prithu Maharaj was performing the last horse sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yagya, King Indra, invisible to everyone, stole the horse intended for sacrifice. He did this because of his great envy of King Prithu.
Prabhupada says very nicely in the purport, when King Prithu was performing 100 yajna, Indra became very envious because he did not want anyone to excel him. Being an ordinary living entity, he became envious of King Prithu and making himself invisible, he stole the horse and thus impeded the yajna performance. So what is this invisible thing here? It's very interesting. Why is he becoming invisible?
I think, Prabhuji, it's a general tendency that when we try to commit a crime at such a level, we don't want anyone else to know that we are the ones committing the crime. Beautiful, so our name yes. or fame do not get lower in front of everyone. We just seekingly commit the crime.
The envy itself is so subtle, isn't it? Externally we post, we are good, but internally it is all thing is there. All garbage is there in the form of that envy. So we try to cover it up because we know that that is wrong, but still we want to have it. And we don't want others to identify it. So he is making himself invisible. He could have directly come and picked up the horse in Indra form itself. Instead, he was coming in different sannyasi vesh. So that is, he became making himself invisible. Because everybody is glorifying Prithu Maharaj. I alone, if I am envying that person, then definitely I am wrong. So I should not reveal to the world that I am envious of him and I am the one doing it. But somehow or other, I want it to be done. This is the difficult, what do you call, a dilemma that we envious, many times envious people do it this way. So externally they will be glorifying, but internally they will be envious of things. And that is why even after all the glorification, still that you will not be able to establish that that cord, that relationship. It's very interesting, this invisibility. Great envy. Because of great envy, he becomes this thing. Because great envy means he knows he's envious, but still, because in that position they will know when they are envious. Very interesting. Let's go further.
Sure. When King Indra was taking away the horse, He dressed himself to appear as a liberated person. Actually, this dress was a form of cheating, for it falsely created an impression of religion. When Indra went into the outer space in this way, the great sage Atri saw him and understood the whole situation.
Okay. So what does this reveal of our Vedic culture? There's something positive that it reveals of our Vedic culture. See, this is how we should ask questions. Whenever you read something, when we read the lines, we will while we are getting the cream of the question, basically the top layer of the questions, but then underlying there are many interesting, nice points are there. So what is a positive thing that we can get from this thing? We know that this person has dressed himself like a liberated person and doing this very abominable thing. This is a negative thing, but there is a positive thing also here.
A sannyasi or a liberated person was never obstructed from going anywhere.
How do we put it in a more simpler term? The Vedic culture is predominantly simplistic in nature. It's followed by simple and straightforward people. Very simple people. They're really innocent and really they just believe. When that person comes, even whether that person is a Pakhandi or a false person or whatever, they just believe them. Okay, this person has come. Let's allow him to be here or whatever. So it's very, very interesting point. That is, if you see further, you will see this point developing in the personalities who are going to come now. Let's read the next one.
When the son of the king, Prithu, was informed by Atri of King Indra's trick, he immediately became very angry and followed Indra to kill him, calling, "Wait, wait."
Yeah, next. Let's read a few more.
King Indra was fraudulently dressed as a sannyasi, having knotted his hair on his head and smeared ashes all over his body. Upon seeing such dress, the son of King Prithu considered Indra a religious man and pious sannyasi. Therefore, he did not release his arrows.
See, even though the Atri told him to go and kill that person, still when he went near Indra, he considered Indra a religious man and he did not want to release the arrows. So they were, how should I put it? They were very soft-hearted, basically soft-natured people. They believe and yes, let's not harm this person like that. You see, naive. Yes, that's the right word. Next one. Let's read the next one.
When Atri Muni saw the son of the king Prithu did not kill Indra but returned deceived by him, Atri Muni again instructed him to kill the heavenly king because he thought that Indra had become the lowliest of all demigods due to his impeding the execution of King Prithu's sacrifice.
Even again he is telling him, only then he goes. He doesn't ready-made, he just doesn't go there. Let's read more.
Being thus informed, the grandson of King Vena immediately began to follow Indra, who was fleeing through the sky in great haste. He was very angry with him and he chased him just as the king of vultures chased Ravan.
Next.
When Indra saw that the son of Prithu was chasing him, he immediately abandoned his false dress and left the horse. Indeed, he disappeared from that very spot, and the great hero, the son of Maharaj Prithu, returned the horse to his father's sacrificial arena.
So now he got the horse back. Yes. Then they all gave him the name Vijitashva.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Prabhuji. My dear Lord Vidura, when the great sages observed the wonderful prowess of the son of King Prithu, they all agreed to give him the name
Vijitashva. Next.
Vijitashva. My dear Vidura, Indra, being the king of heaven, very powerful, immediately brought a dense darkness upon the sacrificial arena, covering the whole scene. In this way, he again took away the horse, which was chained with golden shackles near the wooden instrument where animals were sacrificed. The great sage Atri again pointed out to the son of King
So like this, okay, let's skip a few of these verses. Again and again, he is making different this thing, this falseness. Again and again, he goes to. So we'll skip all those verses for the sake of time. Prabhupada says like how these different forms that Indra, they all became a source of different fake renounced people's dresses. Finally, Prithu Maharaj himself is trying to come and prepare to kill Indra by his own bow and arrows. When they see that Prithu Maharaj is going, the rishis they stop Maharaj Prithu, saying that you are a pure devotee. You don't do this. We will do it for you. We will, by mantra, we will bring him here. Don't worry. We will just drag him from his post and put him in the fire. So they are about to chant the mantra. That's when they were about to chant the mantras. That's when Brahma comes and he stops them from that thing. Let's directly go to verse number 30.
Prabhuji, I just want to ask if someone else wanted to read too. Or should I continue?
Yeah. If anyone wants to read, please take it over from me.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Meenakshi Mataji.
Lord Brahma addressed them thus: My dear sacrificial performers, you cannot kill Indra, the king of heaven. It is not your duty. You should know that Indra is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, he is the one of the most powerful assistants of the Personality of Godhead. You are trying to satisfy all the demigods by the performance of this yajna, but you should know that all these demigods are but parts and parcels of Indra, the king of heaven. How then can you kill him in this great sacrifice?
These are very nice questions that are asked. But the most important line is, it is not your duty. It's not our duty to kill your duty. It's not your duty to kill Indra. And just like Prithu Maharaj is a it's an angsha of the Lord, same way Indra is also, maybe slightly different way, being empowered or whatever. Brahma says that he's as good as the Supreme Lord. And he is the leader of the demigods whom you are trying to satisfy. So you want to satisfy the demigods, but you don't want to satisfy the leader. So that is a very interesting question. So all these demigods are parts and parcels of Indra. You want to satisfy them, but you don't want to satisfy Indra. But how would you satisfy Indra? Can somebody tell me the answer here? How can Prithu Maharaj satisfy Indra in this yajna?
Then Prabhuji, in case the yajna is performed, completed, then Indra will get his share, like other demigods.
Sorry, I am not getting your point, Prabhu.
My point is, Prabhuji, if the yajna was completed, all the demigods get their share.
Yes.
So Indra will also get.
Yeah, but what was his? What will please Indra? That gift will not please Indra.
It will please her because if not able to complete.
No. The thing is, Indra will be pleased if the yajna itself is not performed.
Absolutely.
Correct? So that is the gift that he can give him. Not performing the yajna is the gift that he can give to Indra. You understand? All others are getting pleased because their positions are not at stake. Prithu Maharaj is not going to come and take their position by doing these yajnas. That's it. They are all pleased. We will get our share. That's fine. But Indra is worried because his position will be taken up by Prithu Maharaj.
Right.
Right. So anything that what is that? There yesterday also we read this story. Paradharma Swanishtita Paradharma Bhayavagaha. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharma Swanishtita. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. You just do your duty. As a king, there is no need for Prithu Maharaj to perform those 100 sacrifices. That's the whole idea here. Even though he may be doing it for the pleasure of the for the well-being of the general public, his citizens, by that somebody who is in the top is getting disturbed. Do you see that point? And that is what Brahma and Vishnu wanted to stop here. Not only that, somebody is disturbed. Generally, of course, some people will be disturbed. But the thing is, in that process, he is putting the entire thing at stake. Entire governance, administration, everything at stake. Because Indra is worried about this this 100 sacrifices. He is not doing his duty. He is busy being worried about this, how to stop it, how to stop it, how to stop it. And why he is worried now? Now he is worried, that is all right. But then why Brahma and Vishnu are worried? Why this Indra will not do his duty? Now Prithu Maharaj does it, he is worried like this. Now, taking Prithu Maharaj as an example, if everyone around also, all the prajas, everyone starts doing 100 sacrifice, then Indra will stop his business, his main job. He will be busy counteracting this person, that person, this trying to disturb every single person who is trying to follow in Prithu Maharaj's footsteps and do this 100 yajna. Indra didn't come and disturb Parishit Maharaj, correct? Parishit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. He didn't come and disturb Suta Goswami and the 88,000 rishis, correct?
Yes.
Instead, he was even more, not only him, all the Devatas were even more amicable with the sages by making sure that all the weather, the air and everything is very soothing for them. Because they are doing harmless devotional service. You see? That is the very important point we have to learn from here. So this question Brahma is asking, let's go further. This question does not have a purport. Very nice verse. Let's go to the next
also one. Can we conclude, Prabhuji, like this? Means it is unnecessary austerities is not required.
Unnecessary austerities and sacrifice is not required. Prabhupada will keep repeating this point again and again that Sankirtana Yajna is the best. All other yajnas are not of much thing. Thank you. Very nice. So let's go further. Who was reading? Meenakshi Mata was reading.
I'll read, Prabhuji. In order to make trouble and impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted some means that in the future will destroy the clear path of religious life. I draw your attention to this fact. If you oppose him any further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many other irreligious systems.
See, this is the thing. Now, in our current situation in the so-called Hindu religion, how many confusions are there? How many confusions are there? Tremendous amount of confusions. We are really confused. Some people are saying this is right. Some people are saying this is correct. today, what was that? There was a message in you must have heard about this one nonsense thing that has happened, that one some lady from south had directed some documentary film where she is showing Mother Kali as smoking or something. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah. NRI, some NRI stuff.
I don't know if she's NRI or whatever, but she's from south only, but nonsense Kaliuga. But the funny thing is there is a lot of uproars happening around. There's one of this Mamta Didi's party lady, no? That what's her name?
Trinamool Congress.
Yeah, but what's the lady that Mahua Maitra or something? There one lady from, she has studied in the in somewhere in US and all. So she is a MP there. In she has mentioned something like there's nothing wrong in that because the people are offering alcohol and meat to Mother Kali, so she should be taking it. There is nothing wrong if she is taking alcohol and meat. Why not the I mean to say this. Yeah, cigarettes also, smoking also. What kind of people we have as leaders? Just imagine.
Cheap.
Right? Sorry? Very cheap, cheap. No? Very cheap. Yeah, this is how they are cheap publicity they want. And this lady, by raking up an issue, they think they do the whole thing. But today I was reading one purport where Prabhupada is so beautifully telling in verse number, let's go to verse number 37. 36, I'm sorry. Verse number 36, it's so nicely Prabhupada has given here, the real understanding of this. When people are offering this meat and intoxicants to the Kali's deity, what really it means. You see how beautiful Prabhupada was writing. Can you open that purport, Prabhu? 36, verse number 36 purport. Just jumping ahead in the same chapter only.
Third para.
Yes. You see that thing, Prabhupada is saying nicely here. In Calcutta, there are many butcher shops. Can somebody read from there?
Yeah, in Calcutta, there are many butcher shops which keep a deity of goddess Kali, and animal eaters think it proper to purchase animal flesh from such shops in hope that they are eating the remnants of food offered to goddess Kali. They do not know that goddess Kali never accepts non-vegetarian food because she is the chaste wife of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is also a great Vaishnava and never eat non-vegetarian food, and the goddess Kali accepts the remnant of food left by Lord Shiva.
Yes, please read further, Prabhu.
Yeah, therefore, there is no possibility of her eating flesh or fish. Such offerings are accepted by the associates of goddess Kali, known as Bhutas, Pisachas, Rakshasas, and those who take the prasada of goddess Kali in the shape of flesh or fish are not actually taking the prasada left by goddess Kali, but the food left by Bhutas and Pisachas.
See, this kind of clarity who is giving? Who can tell such the rascal leaders? I don't know. You know, they just think they know everything, and they are trying to, get attracted to the masses. Attract the masses by their so-called erudition or whatever. But simple thing they can understand. When husband himself is is a vegetarian, how can wife be non-vegetarian? Very simple logic, you see. So anyway, this is how they don't understand the point. I just wanted to share that point here. So shall we just read this one verse? I really wanted to read it until before we close, and then we can develop further on it tomorrow's point. And that verse I want to go deeper, 1 or 2 verses. So then the verse number next, what is that? 31, right? 31 we did, no? 31 we did, no? Sorry, which one we did? 31 did we do?
31 we
Let
did.
there be only 91.
Yes, we did 31, Prabhuji.
Okay, so Brahma is telling, let there be only 99. Prabhupada writes beautiful purport here. We'll read that also. Maybe we should take these verses for tomorrow, these 2-3 verses. Let's read the next translation also.
Let there be only 99 sacrificial performance of Maharaja Prithu. Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him that since he was thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifices?
This is the most important question asked by Brahma. The same question will be asked by Vishnu also in a slightly different way. But this is the most important question is asked to Maharaj Prithu. Indirectly, we also need to get the lesson, on this. When we are into performing Sankirtan Yajna, we don't have to do elaborate other things just for the sake of all things, for some people, some relations or whatever. We should be very simple in our approach on all these things. Because pure devotion develops as long as we completely depend on the Sankirtana service, all the aspects related to Sankirtana of the Lordship, of the Supreme Lord. Let's read the next one.
Lord Brahma continued, let there be good fortune to both of you. For you and King Indra are both part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you should not be angry with King Indra, who is non-different from you.
See, who is non-different from you? Important thing, like we discussed earlier. Pritak Darsha is the only reason for us to hate someone. So when we see others as Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, what is that? Matravat Paradareshu, Paradravyeshu Loshtravat, Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, Yah Pashyati Sa Panditaha. This is a real Pandit. What are the three things? Matravat Paradareshu, one who treats all other women as mothers. Paradravyeshu Loshtravat, others' property as useless thing. Loshtravat, just the stone in the street. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, everyone else like us only. Yah Pashyati Sa Panditaha. One who sees these three things in this way is a real Pandit. That's why he's telling, he's not different from you. So you please treat this person as non-different from you. Now comes the gem of a verse. Now he says, this verse we should recite. Masmin Maharaja Krita Smachintam Nishamayasmat Vacha Adhyatma Yadhyayato Daivahatam Nukartum Manotirushnam Vishate Tamundham. Can somebody read this translation? And we will stop with that.
Yeah.
Then we will.
My dear King, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happened by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest reason of materialistic thought.
Yes, such a powerful shloka. the what do you call the topmost shloka for this entire chapter. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Try to counteract. Okay, how can he do like that? How can he do like this? All these kind of thoughts will keep coming and bothering us. This is the real lesson that we have to take. And Lord Brahma is telling this to Prithu Maharaj, who is so pure. What to speak of us? So this few more verses are there, but I don't want to rush on this. From this place where Brahma is telling that there be only 99 sacrifices and those things, we will read the purports and other things also tomorrow, Krishna willing. We will see that aspect of. Today we went through the flow of the reading. This is something which we had talked about, that one method of study in a group. So we will take now only few verses and just go back and forth and go deeper into it tomorrow. That part we will see. Okay, any questions, comments, realizations for maybe 5 minutes?
Just one point, Prabhuji.
Yes,
When we, from Purport 2, when Prabhupada used such a strong language where he's saying, one who has envy, something along those lines, cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. It talks about, so when you say going from black to white, we are talking about Lord Indra, like he is Indra. What are we compared to him? We are not even a bacteria in front of Lord Indra.
Right,
and when he is not even, when he is envy, and then Prabhupada is making that statement that, anybody who is envy cannot progress in Krishna consciousness. And we linked it with Bhagavatam chapter 9, 4th chapter, I think canto 4, where he's talking about how it is very important not to be envy in order for us to progress. It just shakes a little bit, shakes at least me a little bit. Where are we standing? Like this envy is so hard to get rid of. Despite of our so many tries, it's very hard to get rid of.
This is the kind of question that comes up when we study Bhagavatam like this. And that is a real effect of studying Bhagavatam properly, because when this question comes, it reflects the humility that is set in us, Mataji. When I say that Indra is like this, Brahma is like this, what am I?
Yes.
That's the mood that our acharyas want us to get. That's the reason all these great personalities are playing these different roles in Bhagavatam, in order for us to get to that level of humility.
I think, Prabhuji, the problem is when we read these verses, we understand where are we. But when we go out in our regular day-to-day life, there is some point, okay, I have read it, I have chanted. To some point it exists in the heart, but to some point it just vanishes. We are back into, we are always in Maya.
Correct.
For the little bit we were with spiritual world, a connection loses and we are back into the square one point.
Yeah, that is true. That keeps happening. But I always tell devotees when they ask, they said, Prabhu, it was only a few minutes I was able to experience that joy. So for the few minutes we are pure devotees. That's okay. At least we can claim that for the pure for the few minutes we are experiencing pure devotion.
That's true. So true, Prabhuji.
The association of pure devotees. So that take the positive thing and develop that slowly, that few minutes into maybe few hours or few days or whatever. Then easy said than done, but always look at the positives. That's the important thing.
True.
Sorry, Meenakshi Mataji was telling something.
No, Prabhuji. Actually, I also just wanted to highlight that small positive note on that. Krishna himself has said that we can reach the pages of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-gita only when envy does not exist within us. So at least to that extent, Krishna has shown mercy on us, that we could reach the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-gita. So I think he has made us reach till here. He will guide us further how to.
Yes, wonderful point, Mataji. Thank you for bringing that positive. It's not that we should always be positive and should never be negativity. Sometimes is very good for us to understand our reality. Positive thing is a hope that, okay, I will become like this one day, or I have reached at least this point, let's go further. It's without looking behind. But I won't say it is negativity. It's something which will help us, it will help us develop the mood of humility. Right?
Also, Prabhuji, one another thing is, this is something which I do it as a self-introspection. So, as Mataji cited, that, in a day-to-day activity, we find these things do not happen the way we want it to happen, or the way God wants us to behave. But
Yeah.
the point is, we should compare ourselves with 5 years earlier, 5
Mm.
months earlier, 5 days earlier.
Mhm.
We will definitely see the kind of difference
Mm.
has set in, because Krishna has, Acharyas have brought us to this position.
Mm.
So, as you said,
They
it's
will
a
take us
very
forward.
yeah, it's a
Mm.
nominal growth or nominal progress, but when we see it from a from a longer duration, 5 years back or 2 years back or 6 months back, it will definitely help us move forward.
Yes, Mataji, very true. That's one good point, definitely. And yeah, there are many things which we can discuss on this point, Mataji, and maybe tomorrow we'll discuss that in a little bit more depth. And Sachinandan Lal Prabhu also made a point here that about the 24 and 25th verse, where Prabhupada is directing to that specific religion wherein sannyasis are following non-recommended way of living. So this he's asking us to elaborate tomorrow. Let's discuss that also tomorrow. We will discuss that point also. My kind request to devotees is that in your free time between now and tomorrow evening, whenever you get some little time, please read through this chapter once again, and you will get some nice realizations, nice maybe some questions, some things which you may want to elaborate further. That will be really very, very sweet, for us to do our own personal study thing. That also is one of the study methods you are talking about. So please try to read it at your leisure. Some of the words you'll see. I think in today's discussion, we tried everything. Like we tried reading the translation thing. Then we tried understanding a particular phrase in the translation. Then we were trying to match it with the word for word. And then some purport also we read. So this is pretty much like a mixture of all different methods. We can do this way also. There's nothing that stops us from reading this way, that way, back and forth. Tomorrow we'll get into a few verses which we can go a little bit more deeper. At least the background we have now. I think we'll stop here, Prabhu's Mataji. It's 10:30 already. So Krishna willing, we'll all connect tomorrow and continue exercise on this chapter. The real thing I will close with this point is that these chapters cannot be just read in 1 or 2 sessions like this. Sachinandan Lal Prabhu is a witness to that. When we started off like that slowly, then we ended up reading 1 chapter for 2 years, 3 years also, that's a real symptom of our taste for this Bhagavatam. I mean, developing the taste for going deeper and deeper into Bhagavatam. So that also shows the unlimited nature of Bhagavatam. So we'll stop here. We will, within our limited capacity, we'll try to understand. So we discuss quite a few questions, quite a few points today. Some lessons in terms of lessons or why it's happening like this, etc., etc. So let's maybe noting this down is one thing which we can share offline with devotees, which some of the devotees do it very meticulously and religiously. So that is another thing which will help us solidify our understanding and our attachment to this. Thank you so much. We'll stop here. Prabhu's Mataji, Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhuji ki jai, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.